Rangers 2, Hibs 0. So much happened around the game, Andy, but let's just start with that, the team bonding. But Rangers safely into the semi-finals of the Premier Sports Cup. So, was it a masterstroke?
I wish I'd have taken the plunge sooner. I mean, it was sink or swim time, and he's come out the deep end. There we go. So get every pun going. So
kept his head above water.
Listen, I mean, I think we all said it, that it's one of these things that teams do as a matter of regular occurrence. It's just happened to be the timing coming sort of so hot in the heels of that disastrous defeat to Hearts last weekend, when we saw the protests sort of really sweep around Ibrox, the chants of the Martin GTF chants. That's why people are questioning it. The team, the accusation was thrown at Russell Martin after that game that his team didn't look coached. Obviously, that has stung him. He admitted that last week that was a barb thrown by one of the fan media guys. That was an insult, really, that happened when it hurt. And he referenced it again. But I think the accusation was, well, why are you taking them, hill climbing? Why are you taking them for a dip in Loch Lomond when you could be out in the training field working on some of the issues? But I think he clearly felt that a lot of the issues were psychological. They were anxiety, and it could be helped just by fostering some sense of team unity, some togetherness. And I think you did see that they looked certainly a more they had a better show of togetherness about them. They didn't panic. They didn't get themselves into some of the kind of sticky situations that they have done this season. It was certainly a performance against Hibs at the weekend that was, I think Russell Martin will hope it's a turning point, and it has to be that if he's going to survive. But there were certainly at long last some encouraging signs. But there's, I think I said in Hotline Live yesterday, there is still a long way to go for him before he's out of the woods yet.
Yeah, it's true, Douglas. One swallow doesn't make a summer. But do you think, it's funny when you look at the kind of reaction to the game, I don't know whether, it depends what camp you're in, some people were almost over-exaggerating it, and making it better than it actually was. And then I felt some were almost underplaying it because they didn't want to give any credit. If that result, let's see, Rangers had just had a normalish start to the season, a couple of wins here, and it wasn't the kind of, disastrous start that it's been. I mean, how do you think you would have viewed that game? Tricky game. Hibs, had started the season fairly well. How would we be looking at that game in isolation?
Yeah, I think had we not been just like half an hour before kickoff, we went 11th in the league. It all seemed a wee bit surreal. Had that kind of not been the situation, then I think we'd be kind of sitting there saying that was a really professional performance. Hibs always seem to give us a game at Ibrox. Our record against Hibs at Ibrox is actually worse than it is at Easter Road in the kind of past 10 years. For some reason, it's a stadium obviously Hibs like to come to, but without wanting to be kind of disrespectful, Rangers at home in the League Cup against MD, I think the fans have a right to expect us to go through, and in some ways the fact that we're so happy about kind of eking out a 2-0 win over Hibs kind of suggests where we kind of are in the grand scheme of things. We got, I do think, against Hearts, notwithstanding the overall performance, we were obviously in the end of some really bad refereeing and VAR decisions. I wouldn't say we got away with one on Saturday because it was a handball, but at least this one, that was a kind of decision that might well not have gone for us the week before, and I think that's maybe given us a boost. Had that goal stood, I think we'd be sitting here having a very, very different conversation right now, because the team still, to me, looks mentally weak. Obviously, there was a big narrative around, it's Nico Raskin that's come back and scored the opening goal. Maybe begs the question, where has Nico Raskin been for the past 3 weeks? When he could obviously have been doing his, giving us a helping hand out there on the pitch.